presented by Fox Sports Net. An incredible week of NBA basketball continues in Memphis. On Saturday, the Grizzlies beat Michael Jordan and the Wizards. Tonight, it's Gary Payton and the Sonics. Friday night, Shaq, Kobe and the Lakers. And on Sunday, Vince Carter and the Raptors. Welcome inside the pyramid for this evening's matchup between the Seattle Supersonics and the Memphis Grizzlies. For the Sonics, it's their fourth game in 5 days. Like this, Hubie Brown has made an adjustment. No, not just because Jason Williams is back for the first time in 3 games. Williams is there along with Gordon Giracek. Pau Gasol is in the middle. Drew Gooden slides from the small forward to the power forward. And Shane Battier, for the first time since November 11th, is back in the starting lineup for the 8th time this season. And Hubie Brown picking up his first win since November 25th, 1986, when the New York Knicks defeated the Houston Rockets. That win, of course, coming on Saturday night against the Washington Wizards by a score of 85-74. Nate McMillan, his starting 5 for the Seattle Supersonics. It's Gary Payton. Watch out for Brent Barry. He can knock down the 3. Peja Drobniak in the middle likes a spot up from 15 feet. Rashard Lewis just signed a big deal during the offseason at Elsick High School in Houston, Texas. And the rookie from Iowa signed as a free agent, undrafted free agent, Reggie Evans. Nate McMillan, his team has already played 10 road games. This is the 11th. They are 6-4 on the road, 7-2 in conference play. Overall, 9-6. That's second best in the Pacific Division. 2.5 games behind the Sacramento Kings. This is their 4th game in 5 days, all on the road. And here is Brent Barry from the outside, and the shot doesn't go. And Payton hands the Sonics a second chance opportunity.
Well, we saw in the opening possession how Seattle's going to play. If they're open behind the arc, they're going to put it up.
Last night, they were out-rebounded. 55-32 were the Sonics. One of the reasons why they lost to Atlanta in overtime, despite the fact that Atlanta had 27 turnovers, Hersey.
Yeah, that was amazing. You normally see a team with that many turnovers, you're looking at a blowout. But they just killed Seattle on the boards, and that's been their problem early on in the season.
Good and left outside. 7 on the shot clock. Nobody contested it, so he took it. And the Grizzlies on the board first, a minute into this contest here on the night before Thanksgiving. Crowd still filing in. Here's Brent Barry, hit a big bucket on Sunday night against San Antonio for the victory with 4.7 of a second to go. Rashard Lewis fading away baseline, and it rims out. Here's Williams, crossover in the lane, finds Gooden. He'll take it and make it.
That's a good sign. Drew Gooden, he's not hesitating on the jump shot. That's what teams are giving him now. He's proven that he can score inside, so now they're going to make him prove he can make the outside shot.
Jason Williams showing no sign of effects from that sprained ankle that he injured a week ago against Philadelphia. Pau Gasol, and he loses it. And last touch by Seattle, and so it's Memphis basketball.
That's Seattle's best offense. Gary Payton on the box with the ball in Gary Payton's hands. But Pau Gasol comes over, gets the block shot, and comes up with the rebound.
Here's Gooden, guarded by Reggie Evans. Big 12 against Big 10. 6 points, a 6-0 run by Drew Gooden. And Gary Payton, who played 49 minutes last night, a season high, is trying to back down on Williams. Spins over Williams, shot doesn't go, tapped up and out of bounds by Reggie Evans. It's Memphis basketball.
Yeah, Seattle, they have to concern themselves with how tired they're going to be tonight. Playing an overtime game last night, like you mentioned, 4 and 5 nights. The Grizzlies put some pressure on them early. You never know.
Payton is 10th in the league in minutes played, so he's used to that. And Drew Gooden right now is hot, 4 of 4. And an 8-0 run by the Grizzlies to start this one out.
And what you like about what the Grizzlies are doing is they're feeding him. They're looking for Drew. They know he's hot. Keep riding him.
Here's Drobniak trying to back down on Gasol. Shot rims out. And another rebound comes right to Gooden. The Grizzlies out rebounding the Supersonics 4-1. Jay Will take it and make it 11-0. Almost 3 minutes in, and the fans are already on their feet, and so is Lorenzen Wright. And Nate McMillan wants a timeout in a hurry. His team last night lost to Atlanta in overtime, 119-116.
Seattle, they don't know what hit them. Grizzlies come out hot on all cylinders.
How about Gooden? But he's stretching it out from outside.
Seattle, they don't have an answer, especially when you have Brent Berry playing them. Brent has to give him the jump shot. He raises up and knocks it down, but he has the post game going also.
Payton turns a corner. Here's Lewis going baseline. Underneath Evans. And it trickles in. So for the first time, the Sonics score. Almost 3.5 into this contest.
You can expect to see Seattle get a little more aggressive on the defensive end. Looks like they've come out sluggish, so expect some double teams to get everyone moving.
Here's Pau Gasol. Drobniak on him. Gasol decides to find Battier. The Grizzlies haven't missed. 6 of 6 from the floor.
Another good sign from the Grizz. Shane Battier knocks down his first shot and the 3.
Not only his first shot, but a 3-pointer as Payton uses the left hand and stares back at Jason Williams for Shane Battier. That was his first made 3 since November 8th. 1 of 16. He's now 2 of 17. Trying to post up Barry down low. Instead, here's Giricek firing. Wow. Hotter than the Grizzlies right now.
It's contagious. Everybody getting in on the action.
7 of 7. This is not the 1 and 13 Grizz. Payton on the weak side, and Battier will claim it deep in the corner.
You mentioned 1 and 13. I was talking to Bob Weiss before the game. He was saying the Grizzlies, they don't play like a 1 and 13 team, so don't underestimate them.
Gooden. Evans on him. Here's Williams. Gets the roll. Wow. Friendly iron tonight. 8 of 8. And Jay Will, 5 points. And how about this? 18-4. And a foul on Gordon Giricek. And Vladimir Radmanovic is going to check into the action because Radmanovic can heave it.
Oh, this is the ultimate shooter's touch. Bounces straight in the air, right down.
Sonics are 2-9. The Grizzlies 8 of 8. Here's Payton. Kicks it out. Radmanovic. Jumper. Good. See, he can do that.
Yeah, Radmanovic, he comes in and stretches the defense. And when you're a big guy, you don't expect to play him that far out, but he can knock it down.
Struggled last night, just 1 of 6. On Sunday, he was 3 of 8 against San Antonio. And a foul on Brent Berry. Our 3 officials this evening, Dick Bavetta, who made that call, Scott Wall, and Violet Palmer. Bavetta, Wall, and Palmer. Pau Gasol is the only Grizzly starter that hasn't scored, and that is the first miss, and it comes at 6:37 of the first quarter.
Yeah, the Grizzlies, they've started this game off making a lot of jumpers, but eventually you have to go inside.
Just like that, Lewis goes inside. And for the Sonics, as you know, it's a jump shooting team, but yet struggling from the outside. And they go and they try to work on the interior despite that Radmanovic jumper. Good. Here's Jason Williams. Drills a 3 from the corner.
Nice unselfish play out of Drew Gooden. Had the shot, saw Jason Williams wide open in the corner, gave it up to him.
Payton turns the corner. So you got to fight to get over to him.
And Gary Payton looks like he's trying to get the Sonics back in this game by himself. Aggressive offensively, looking to get to the basket.
Now 5 of 12. They're starting to crank it up. 3 for the last 3. Gasol gets it blocked. Gooden trickles out. And the long rebound comes to Barry. Barry behind the back. And a turnover. And Nate McMillan just turns back toward the bench. And grabs the basketball in disbelief of that pass.
You have to understand, Nate played his entire career and probably never threw a behind-the-back pass. Always was very careful of his passes.
Just like Jason. Here's Battier.
Jason who?
Williams. Oh, good in. Shot doesn't go. And he is fouled. Violet Palmer calls it on Vladimir Radmanovic. And Gooden will head to the free throw line.
And the Grizzlies, they'll be able to take advantage of the front line all night. Drew, Powell, when Stroh comes into the game, getting good post possession, making Seattle double team.
I kid about Jason Williams. He has played very well under Hubie Brown, and I have talked to him on numerous occasions, and he really likes playing for Hubie Brown.
Respect.
Yes.
Like he respects what Hubie has done in this league as an analyst. He listens to him, and he knows he only has one way to play, Hubie's way.
Up top, here's Barry, puts it on the deck, drives, and Pau Gasol is going to get tabbed with his first foul. And Williams heads over and has a conversation with Hubie Brown. And this is one of the things that Hubie Brown really likes, as well as Jason. They talk things through, and they talk about the different options that are on the floor. And Jason Williams has an extremely high basketball IQ as Desmond Mason replaces Rashard Lewis. Mason has been a spark plug coming off the bench. He had 23 last night against Atlanta and 15 against San Antonio. Barry 1 of 2 from the free throw line. It's 23-11. The Grizzlies 9 of 12. Seattle shooting 42%. They are 5 of 12. Here's Giracek. He'll catch and shoot. Not this time, and Radmanovic is there to board it. Barry, dribble penetration, baseline, kick out, Mason. Too strong, and the long rebound, hustling rebound by Drobnia.
And when you get a lot of long jumpers, three-point attempts, you'll get a lot of long rebounds.
And Mason flies to the hole. Third opportunity. Offensive rebound, offensive rebound, offensive rebound, and boom, they lay it up and in.
Yeah, it's important for the guards not to leak out. They have to stay at the free throw line, so if those long rebounds pop out to the free throw line, they can get it, fast break.
Hubie Brown realizes that. He wants a timeout. The Grizzlies, a tremendous start. They were 8 for their first 8.
Jason has been 100% in your face defense, a great leader, and held us together in those games when everybody else was running to the wrong spots. That takes mental discipline, a knowledge of what we're doing, and then, as we all know, he could have broken any play and gotten a shot. But he kept it together and allowed everybody else to grow. And we can't wait for Jason to get back.
Well, he is back, and already the effects, 8 points and 3 assists. And after that turnover, the Grizzlies have possession of the basketball. And Hubie Brown certainly realizes the effects that Jason Williams has had early on.
Yeah, you mentioned earlier Jason having a high basketball IQ. And when you understand the basketball game and you're a leader, like he said, he knows where everyone's supposed to be on the floor. So I mean, Jason's very important to this team.
Let's send it over to Michael Eaves for an update on Jason Williams. He just left in replace of Earl Watson. Michael?
Yeah, Matt, you were talking about Jason Williams and his injury earlier. It was basically a high ankle sprain to his left ankle. And I asked Jason before the game, are you doing anything special, a brace or extra tape? And he says, no, I'm just going all natural. So they're pretty much the same tape job he has for every game. And it seemed like to be working tonight. He was hot early.
Hey, he's hot. Yeah, 3 of 4, 8 points and 3 assists. But right now, Michael, nobody's hotter than Drew Gooden. Calls himself to drizzle. Well, right now, he's sizzling. 6 of 7. No fizzle to the drizzle, huh?
If a play is not working, they're backing off when he's shooting the basketball. He's raising it up, knocking it down.
Watson swarming over Kenny Anderson. Cut by Payton. They'll swing it. Radmanovic, 3 on the clock. And drills it. Radmanovic has that option to his game. He'll stand out there and knock him down all day long. He's been struggling from that range, but he certainly has shown the ability to do that as Batiste and Swift check in for the Memphis Grizzlies.
You have to be aware of where Radmanovic is on the floor. And rotate to him quickly, make him put it on the ground. He's less effective when he has to dribble it a couple of times.
Grizzlies lead 27-15. 3:08 remaining here in the first quarter. Batiste, Watson, Swift, Person, and Lorenzen Wright, second unit for the Memphis Grizzlies. Kenny Anderson, Mason, along with Calvin Booth checking in for the first time. Payton and Radmanovich. Payton with the steal. Payton quickly into the front court. Here's Kenny Anderson. Knocks it down. They'll play that small backcourt. They like to play small, in fact, Hersey. You have 2 point guards out there. Payton, Kenny Anderson, both offensive-minded.
And that way you can move Gary to the 2 position where he can become really offensive-minded. You have both guys that can push it up and create for other players.
Lorenzen right underneath. Blows the layup, gets it back, misses once again. Third opportunity. Rand says, I'm going to handle it with the slam.
There you go with Duncan.
Got to be strong underneath, and he was. The Grizzlies with 2 rebounds more than Seattle as Payton just takes it right into the lane. And a timeout taken by the Memphis Grizzlies. And Hubie Brown not pleased as a lead, which once it at 14, sliced to 10. And we'll stay right here. College Football Saturday presented by Kia Sarah returns to Fox Sports Net next week. First on Friday, it's a special Pac-10 showdown with the bragging rights on the line when the Arizona State Sun Devils take on the Arizona Wildcats. Then on Saturday, the 4th-ranked Oklahoma Sooners look for revenge when they take on the upset-minded Oklahoma State Cowboys. Coverage begins Friday, 3 o'clock Eastern, noon Pacific, right here on Fox Sports Net. Of course, there's Mike Batiste, wears number 24, and he went to Arizona State. Desmond Mason, who wears 24 for Seattle, went to Oklahoma State, played for Eddie Sutton. And Lorenzen Wright getting his own rebounds, padding those rebounding stats, and then getting the 2.
Yeah, I think Moses Malone used to do this also. Lorenzen looked like he didn't quite have the lift on his first attempt. Got it back and threw it down.
Grizzlies lead by 10. Made their first 8. They're now 12 of 18 from the field. Doubled. Lorenzen finds Person. Pass was a little bit too high. And Anderson goes quickly, and Watson takes it into the lane with a finger roll.
Seattle tried to go into a zone. Grizzlies did a good job of moving the basketball.
Anderson so quick and explosive, coming back from back spasms. He missed 4 games. And he has been back now for 4 games, including tonight, and he got it right by Wesley Person.
And what was the help defense? Someone on the weak side had to see that.
Steal, Kenny Anderson. Lead pass, Payton. And Stroh goes up, got a piece of it, but Payton has 8 points on 4 of 7 shooting, and the Sonics have made 6 straight. If Kenny Anderson, who has never come off of the bench in his career, if he decides that he's willing to accept that role, he could really help this Sonic team. In the corner, Wesley Person, a run stopper. You need that, and he just drilled that 3.
You leave Wesley wide open in the corner. The shortest 3-point attempt on the court. He'll make it.
You know all about that. Person! And a foul on Kenny Anderson as Wesley Person deflected the pass and then was fouled by Anderson.
Grizzlies did a better job on that pick and roll defense than they did earlier. A good ball movement. Rotation. Finds Wesley in the corner. I used to love the corner myself.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
There's some coaches that don't mind pushing shooters into the corner because they think that that's a difficult angle. Here's Person from the wing.
I used to like it because it's a shorter shot.
Here's Wesley from the wing. No, and Lorenzen swallows the rebound.
I don't think we have to worry about Wesley being afraid to put up another one. If he comes open on this possession, he'll put it up again.
Here's Wesley, Watson, Lorenzen calling for it, and defensive 3 seconds on Calvin Booth, who played in just 15 games a year ago. Had a frayed ligament in his ankle, had surgery on it.
But Calvin Booth was trying to play help side defense, protecting against a lob pass, and was in the lane too long.
Person, excellent free throw shooter, 14 of 15 on the season. He has made now 12 consecutive from the line, and the Grizzlies lead 35-23 with 15 seconds remaining here in the first quarter. So for the Grizzlies, about a second differential. Game clock, shot clock. Watson in the lane, pulls up, shot short, and climbing up and grabbing it is Booth. And Lorenzen deflects it, and because of that, Seattle was unable to launch a shot attempt.
Grizzlies catch a break. Earl Watson went a little too soon on that. You'd rather go with 4 or 5 seconds rather than 8.
The Grizzlies, after one, lead the Seattle Supersonics 35-23. An impressive start. 8 of 8 from the floor. But from the field, 14 points, 3 rebounds, and 2 assists. What a first quarter as the Grizzlies came out and made 8 of their first 8.
Yeah, Drew Gooden and Jason Williams came out and set the tempo. Offensively, jumped on Seattle.
Second unit on the floor, Watson, Batiste, Lorenzen Wright, Swift in person. Kenny Anderson along with Rashard Lewis, Mason, Booth, and Radmanovich in a zone right now for Seattle. Person up fake, under 10 of the shot clock. Finds Swift, finger roll, and for Booth. And Booth gets charged with goaltending.
Grizzlies have done a good job penetrating on the zone, getting into the cracks and creating for their teammates, and they have to continue to be aggressive.
Payton played the entire first quarter. Kenny Anderson turns it over after playing a season-high 49 minutes last night. Were you surprised by that at all or no?
49 minutes last night?
No, the 12 minutes in the first quarter tonight.
I think Nate had no choice. When the Grizzlies came out and jumped on him, he had to keep Gary in the game so he can try to keep it close.
Swift, too strong. You paid a visit, in fact, to Gary Payton prior to the start of the game. And you found him soaking in a tub, resting those legs.
Yeah, after all those minutes last night, he had to get loose, but he was all business. He said they're coming in here to win. There was no playing tonight.
Wesley Person knocks down the open jumper.
Well, and they better get down to business real quick.
This is a team, as you know, that can come back with just a flurry of shots, and this is one of the players that can do it. Desmond Mason, skip pass. Rashard Lewis on the near side. Lewis drills it.
They have such good shooters. You have to make them put the ball down, jam them up top, and make them create, make the extra pass.
Lewis, just 23 years of age, so talented. Watson, doubled in the zone. Lorenzen finds Batiste. He has that range, but it won't work off the side of the backboard. Grizzlies lead 39-25. Lewis. Kenny Anderson behind the back. Here's Calvin Booth. A little spurt by Seattle, and it's a 12-point game, Hersey, 2 minutes into the second quarter.
And that's why Seattle's so dangerous. They can make outside shots, so you can't let them sit out there and shoot it. You have to jam them, then they create for their teammates.
That's their game from 12 to 18 feet, right? Even beyond that, including three-point range.
Yeah, it's a one-on-one defense. You have to keep your man in front of you, do the best job you can, and challenge the shot.
Look at that after that start. Missed their first 6 and 13 for their last 16. Lorenzen with the hook, it rolls. Batiste touches it, and he interferes.
And that looked like that may have been going in. I think it may have spun back in.
We'll never know.
Okay, it would have been. It would have, now we know.
9:35 remaining here in the first half. Mason looks to front now. Crossover over Person. Misses badly. 5 seconds on the shot clock, down to 4. Stretching it out, 2. Watson contests. Offensive rebound and blocked out of bounds by Swift. But he'll also get charged with the foul.
Calvin Booth keeping the ball alive twice, coming up with 2 offensive rebounds.
Scott Wall said that he got a piece of Calvin Booth.
Nice little push. Calvin Booth got away with it. Lorenzen looking for the foul. But Booth gets to the free throw line.
Calvin Booth, you see his numbers this season. Booth out of Penn State did not score last night in only 13 minutes. On Sunday against San Antonio, 8 points. Misses the second. Mason hustles with the rebound on the sideline. Here's Lewis, better get out on him. And Lewis drills a 3, and it's an 8-point game. So the lead's been shaved to 8. And just like we said, this is a team that can make a flurry of shots. It's an 8-0 run by Seattle.
Seattle's second unit more aggressive, hustling more than the Grizzlies' second unit, coming up with all the loose balls.
Here's Lorenzen, doubled in the zone. Wesley in the corner. Batiste with the shot, doesn't go. And Anderson with the rebound. Seattle pushing. Anderson finds Mason wide open, 17 feet away, drills it. It's a 10-0 run, Hawk. And Hubie Brown wants a timeout. It was as large as 16, and right now it has been shaved to 6.
A good timeout by Hubie. Seattle has the momentum now in transition in the half court, hustling more. Grizzlies have to get back on the same page.
Desmond Mason with 4 points tonight. Supersonics, it's a 6-point game. This week on Fox NFL Sunday, it begins with America's #1 pregame show. Then Michael Vick and the Falcons look to keep pace in the NFC South as they battle Randy Moss and the Vikings. Then Kurt Warner and the Rams look to get back on track against Hugh Douglas and the Eagles, or other regional action. This all begins this week on Fox NFL Sunday. Lorenzen right. Here's Earl Watson. Jason Williams will check in at the next opportunity along with Battier and Gasol. Watson shooting over Kenny Anderson, and Earl Watson ends that 10-0 run.
Earl Watson had to make a tough shot to end the 10-0 run.
The Grizzlies had not scored in a while, but they were able to get that little floater in the lane. And checking in, Shane Battier, and Jason Williams, and Pau Gasol. Batiste, Lorenzen Wright, Earl Watson leaving, and Gary Payton wants back in for Seattle. And so does Brent Berry. One of the reasons why Hubie Brown made the adjustment in the starting lineup, and you saw it early, Hawk, is that he felt that this starting 5 could give them just a little bit better defense early.
Yeah, especially with Shane Battier now being in that starting unit. You can put him on a 2 or 3, and maybe some 4s take away their best offensive player. And that's invaluable to the team.
41-35 Memphis. Here's Pau Gasol. Up fake. Gasol takes it. Why not? And the shot doesn't go. Gasol a little bit indecisive. He had the ability to where he was to go ahead and make a move.
Yeah, he wanted to make a move, but Gary Payton was sitting there right in his lap, forcing him to pass it, so he decided he'll shoot it.
Now it's a 4-point game. Rashard Lewis has 9 points, leading the way for the Sonics, followed by Payton. And off of the bench, Desmond Mason. That trio can do damage. Curling, Williams, here's Battier, up fake in the lane, Person for 3. Got it. Wesley Person knocks down the big 3, and Person has 9 points.
And another unselfish play by the Grizzlies. Shane Battier had a free throw line jumper. Wesley Person, your best 3-point shooter, wide open, gave it to him.
Grizzlies now by 7. Here's Payton, dumps it on the inside. Battier late. Gasol trying to close from up top, and Calvin Booth lays it up and in. It's a 5-point effort for Booth.
I thought Powell was going to come up with the block shot on that. Booth doesn't have the strength or the leaping ability to jump over him and shoot it.
Seattle, a year ago, did a tremendous job on Pau Gasol. Turnover. Seattle's made 12 of the last 15, make it 13 of their last 16.
Seattle making a conscious effort to try to take it to the basket, and you can see that after their 0-6 start. Nate called a timeout, and they've been aggressive going to the basket ever since.
Wesley misses, weak side. Lewis taps it ahead. Stroh will corral it, and the Grizzlies another opportunity. Led by as many as 16, 3-point game. Williams, hop step, Pau Gasol, jumper. Pau is first 2. 9 of the 10 that have played, pardon me, Hawk, have scored.
And that was a better jump shot for Powell. It was in rhythm. Jason created it for him.
Payton spins. Williams on him. Here's Barry slicing into the lane. Fancy pass, Lewis contested and swift to Williams.
Good defense, good recovery by the Grizzlies.
He banks it in, and even he has a cringe on his face saying, wait a minute, I didn't mean for that to happen.
Okay, you bank one in from the top of the key. Next time down court, shoot another one.
And then Williams comes back and drapes Gary Payton. And Payton has it knocked out of bounds, but last touch by Memphis. And so when we return, it'll be Seattle basketball. Pau Gasol drills the open jumper, and the Grizzlies are shooting 57.
11 minutes, 11 points. Real defensive struggle going on there. They're really stopping each other.
Jason Williams, once again, a stellar job. In his first game back, missed San Antonio and missed Saturday night's game against Washington. And I spent some time with him on Saturday, day of the game, and talked to him about playing. And he said, listen, if I could, I'd go out there and play tonight. And he said, I want to. They don't want me to. He said, but if I don't play on Saturday night, I'm playing on Wednesday night. And, of course, defying all reports as Battier picks up that foul. Everyone said he'd be out 7 to 10 days. And it speaks to the desire and the will that he has under Hubie Brown as Mason makes the first. Mason, 7 points and 4 rebounds for Nate McMillan. Directed this team a year ago into the postseason, won 45 games, 4th place in the Pacific. Lost in 5 games to the San Antonio Spurs in the first round of the postseason. Of course, way back in 1998, they won 61 games.
Yeah, and Nate's goal is to just see progression, see them be better than what they were last year.
Giracek passes up the shot. Gasol will take the jumper and make it.
Grizzlies big man tonight. Pau Gasol, Drew Gooden, having a good game so far from the perimeter.
Barry finds Payton to Radmanovic. And Battier with a foul as Pau Gasol on the defensive end. And just got mixed up.
Good two-man basketball. Pau Gasol jumped out too quickly on the pick and roll. Radmanovic slipped it. Got the easy jam. Shane was late on the rotation.
Radmanovic steps to the strike. And he misses Lewis. Offensive rebound around Gooden. Loses it. Picked up by Mason. Refurbished shot clock.
Have to block out, even on free throws. Put somebody on a man.
Lewis with a dozen now on 5 of 10 shooting. And the Memphis Grizzlies, their lead right now stands at 3. You see the three-point shooting. Most of that done by Wesley Person. Gooden, 7 of 8, has 16 points.
Good pass by Powell. Drew with the slip in. They can score all night long on the paint if they keep going in there.
Gooden, his career best November 8th at Sacramento, 23 points. Gooden got a piece of it, deflecting it. Williams picks it up. The Grizzlies lead by 5. 3:35 remaining here in the first half. Will cans it. Williams 5 of 6. How about that shooting percentage? 13 points. Gooden 7 of 8. Gets a piece of it.
Looks like the layoff has helped Jason.
That was too easy. Once they broke through, Lewis was right underneath it.
And Lewis snuck behind everyone. No one saw him there.
Gasol finds a cutting Giracek, but Radmanovic got a piece of the basketball. Lewis saves it. Radmanovic spotting for 3. Lewis another offensive rebound. Last night, Seattle got beat up bad. And Brent Barry commits the foul on the breakaway. And Brent Barry saying, wait a minute, it's not a breakaway. But Scott Wall is saying that it is, and now Dick Pavetta comes over and they'll have a conversation for it. Brent Barry is concerned about it. Hubie Brown pleased with tonight's effort. With 2:49 remaining here in the first quarter, and this is why it's not a free throw, because if you look to the right of Mason, out on the wing beside Battier is another Grizzly player, and it is Giricek.
Yeah, Desmond Mason, he was back far enough where there wasn't a breakaway layup, so ball out of bounds on the side.
Coming up tonight, it's a Southern Sports Report. It's 30 minutes of nightly sports news completely dedicated to the home teams throughout the South. For extended regional highlights and in-depth interviews, catch the Southern Sports Report tonight, 10 o'clock Central, only on Fox Sports Net. The Grizzlies shooting a robust 60% from the floor, while the Supersonics are not far behind, just a tick under 58%. Memphis has done a good job. They've held on to the basketball, 5 turnovers. You see Jason Williams, he does not have one. Seattle last night turned it over only 7 times. They have 6 turnovers already, and the Grizzlies have scored 8 off of those 6. In the rebounding category, Supersonics, after getting out rebounded last night by 23, are +6 to the Memphis Grizzlies, and now Jason Williams will take that free throw. And so Dick Bavetta came over, talked to Scott Wall, and Wall was adamant about his take. And so guess what?
Grizzlies win.
The Grizzlies end up with the free throw by Jason Williams, and he now has 14. And Nate McMillan during that timeout, along with Dwayne Casey, were both saying, hey, at halftime, check the tape. Check the tape, and you will see that there is a man out on the wing on the break. And I think Dick Bavetta felt that that was certainly the case. But Scott Wall had the call, and they went with it. And so Pau Gasol, who just got fouled, heads to the free throw line. You see the numbers from Saturday night. It was good to see Pau's ability to separate his offense and his defense. It's so difficult to do for any player, but certainly a young player, who's not performing well on the offensive end. In fact, over the last 2 games in the second half, a combined 1 point. But on Saturday night, 15 rebounds, 13 of them defensive.
That sure was a good sign for Powell to finally see him active and aggressive and involved on both ends of the floor. Like you said, young players, they want to score. They don't want to do all the little stuff. And hopefully Powell's gotten the message now.
Here's Drobniak, and a whistle and a foul on Shane Battier. And Battier just picked up number 3. And Shane looks at Dick Bavetta, and he smiles, shakes his head, and here comes Mike Batiste.
But I like the fact that even if Shane doesn't agree with the call, he never says anything to the official. Just go to the bench and sit down, and eventually he'll start getting calls.
Here's Peyton. Williams on him. And a defensive 3 seconds on Pau Gasol. So Pau Gasol and Lewis will head to the free throw line. Lewis with 14 points on 6 of 12 shooting. And Lewis on the season from the free throw line, 75%. Grizzlies jumped out to a large lead. As many as 16. Now a 7-point game. Drobniak finds Peyton. Under 10 to the shot clock. Double. Lewis over Batiste. Gets a roll. Rashard Lewis with 17 first half points. Last night he had 18 on Sunday against San Antonio, 13 a year ago. He averaged 16.8. He has 15 in this quarter, Hawk.
Lewis emerging into an all-star player.
Off the side of the iron, Brett Berry tears it down. 5-point game, Berry through the lane, out on the wing, Radmanovic for 3. It's a 2-point game.
This is Seattle's tempo. This is how they like to play. Get up and down the floor, get a shot as quickly as they possibly can. A lot of draw and kick.
Williams on the far side. Here's Gasol. 10 on the shot clock. Batiste out on the wing. Gooden calling for it. Berry jumping in the face of Batiste. Here's Powell. Jumper. Gasol from the outside. 3 of 5. He hasn't gone anywhere around the bucket. He's hanging out on the wing. He has 8 points.
And Seattle, they'll take that. They forced the Grizzly inside players to become perimeter players.
19 for Lewis.
Earlier it was Drew Gooden on fire. Now it's Rashard Lewis.
8 of 14 has 17 in the quarter.
And I don't know why teams forget about Rashard Lewis. He plays off of Gary and off everyone else. He finds the open spots.
One of the things you can't do against Seattle is get into a jump shooting contest.
And I think that 8 for 8 early in the game, that hurt the Grizzlies because all of a sudden they thought maybe we could outscore Seattle instead of play solid defense.
Garrett check, breaking away. Great defense by the Grizzlies and Gooden. And Garrett check has 4 points. Five-second shot clock, game clock differential. Payton batted out of bounds by Gooden.
You can look at this Seattle team and see why Gary Payton can lead the league in assists. He's their best post-up player. He's their point guard, so when he gets in the box, he can find people open on the perimeter.
Already with 7 dimes. Here's Payton turning the corner. And Violet Palmer is going to call a foul on Pau Gasol. And Hubie Brown, Pau Gasol, Drew Gooden, Mike Batiste, Jason Williams, and Gordon Garachek were all wheeling their arms as if to call a travel.
Yeah, I think another 14, 15,000 people in the arena also. But when you're an all-star player, you get away with that.
Gary Payton, 76%. Last night, 6 of 6 from the free throw line. However, against San Antonio was 4 of 7. 7-year, $86 million deal ends this season and gets a second. A lot of questions as to whether or not Seattle will be his home next year. Williams, here's Batiste. Batted out of bounds in the Grizzlies with 5.3 of a second remaining. Will inbound the basketball and plenty of time to get a shot off. Batiste. Lewis on him. 2 on the shot clock. Gooden, yes! It goes! How fitting that the last shot of the first half is made by Drew Gooden. He started it and he finished it. 18.
Seattle was standing around watching the shot. Drew Gooden was the only player that left his feet. Good defense by Rashard Lewis. Drew Gooden's at the right place at the right time. Everyone's watching. He gets 2 more.
5 shy of tying his season high and career best. The Memphis Grizzlies, led by Drew Gooden, 8 of 9 shooting. 4 rebounds, 3 assists, pumping in 18 points as Dick Bavetta is now reviewing that play, and he is in communication with the truck and speaking specifically to Randy Stevens, our producer, who has to talk with Dick Bavetta as I take you to break. The Memphis Grizzlies lead at halftime, 64-59 over Seattle.
51%. What are you going to do from a defensive standpoint?
Well, for the first quarter, we like what we saw. We held them to 23, our goal, under 24 points. Then the game became a game of tag, okay? Both teams are playing tag. It's like a summer run, all right? They have an excuse. It's their 4th game in 5 nights, all right? And they're an excellent team. They want to play that way, all right? We have got to regroup here defensively. We lost our momentum, no doubt about it. But hopefully we can regroup defensively and get after it in the second half.
All right, good luck in the second half, Coach.
Thank you very much.
Well, he said it. They have an excuse. They want to play like this, number 1, but 4th game in 5 days, as we've talked about it on a couple of different occasions, but the Grizzlies must get after it on the defensive end, and Shane Battier enters his second half already with 3 personal fouls.
Yeah, best defensive player, but the Grizzlies have to find a way to slow this game down. Like Hubie said, Seattle, they want to play up and down, and their best lineups are small lineups where you have Rashard Lewis at the 4 where he can stretch out the defense. And with the small lineups in, the Grizzlies have to take advantage of their inside presence.
Same starting unit for the Memphis Grizzlies that started the game. Here's Drew Gooden from the outside. Oh my! Drew Gooden drills it from the outside. It's a 3. 9 of 10 from the floor, 21 points, 2 shy of a career best. That's his first made 3.
And Drew's thinking, forget the post tonight. He's feeling it from the outside.
Yeah, what a night for a power forward from outside. Payton. Williams sealed him. And a 3-second violation on Drobniak. That turns the basketball over, and that gets Hubie Brown excited and out of his seat. And how about Drew Gooden?
One of those nights as a player, they don't happen often, but when they do, you shoot every time you touch it.
Like that. That's Jason Williams. Williams with 17 large on 6 of 7 shooting. The combination of Gooden and Williams, a combined 38 points. And another turnover. 2 consecutive turnovers by Seattle.
The Grizzlies starting off the second half exactly the way they wanted to. A couple of defensive stops and have been able to score.
Giracek looking for his. Good. Here's Williams. Doesn't fall, and Mason is there.
The only dangerous thing about the way the Grizzlies are playing is when you play offensively as well as they are tonight, you have a tendency to not worry about the defense, and that's when Seattle gets back into the game.
Reggie Evans started the game for Seattle, only played 5 minutes, going with that smaller lineup as Mason starts the second half for Nate McMillan. Mason 8 points and 6 rebounds. Giracek waits for everybody to fly by, and Nate McMillan wants to burn a timeout almost 2 minutes into the second half as the Memphis Grizzlies begin this second half on a big roll. It is 72-59. The Memphis Grizzlies have held the Seattle Supersonics scoreless. And a 12-1 run dating back.
Leading scorer showing why. 37 on the night with a finger roll. Kobe Bryant hanging right with him. That's 32 for Kobe. 2 of the best.
He's bust out of halftime here in the second half on an 8-0 run. Next Wednesday, the Memphis Grizzlies return to the hardwood when they take on Stephon Marbury. Penny Hardaway and the Phoenix Suns. Coverage begins at 8 o'clock Central right here on Fox Sports Net. And of course, the next broadcast for the Memphis Grizzlies across the Grizzlies television network is Friday against the Lakers and locally in Memphis on PAX. Barry finds Payton. Williams chasing. Has the ball stripped. Williams doesn't go. And Lewis is there for the rebound.
That's good defense out of Jason. And that's what Hubie Brown has been talking about. Him in your face.
Giracek taps it. Keeps it alive. Here's Williams once again quickly into the front court. Battier on the inside. Gasol momentarily batted. Reclaims it. Once again looking for Gasol, and Drobniak drops Gasol to the floor.
Powell made the mistake of when he gave the basketball up the first time, he should have tried to get better post position, but he stood there and let Drobniak fight and get around him. Once you give it up, fight to get better post position.
Drobniak, 27 years of age, 6'11", 272 from Yugoslavia. 6 on the shot clock. Giracek penetrates. In the corner for three. Shane Battier drills the 3. Battier 2 of 2 from beyond the arc. And remember, coming in, he was 1 of 16. And the Grizzlies on an 11-0 run here to begin the second half.
The Grizzlies having one of their better nights from the three-point line, and all the threes are in rhythm within the offense.
Having their best night, in fact. Drobniak hooking the lane, counted.
Drobniak won't get many post opportunities, but can score in the post. But because Gary Payton is so good, he's their #1 post option.
Battier delivers it on the inside. This is Gasol with 8 points. Has it knocked out. Williams short. And Mason is there. Drobniak with the hand all over. And that shot of Pau Gasol. Lewis drops it on the inside. Try to back down. Gooden swipes at it. And what he does, he has contact with the left hand of Drobniak. And Drobniak clutching onto his left ring finger and middle finger, which are taped together. And he now leaves in favor of Radmanovic.
But a good defensive stand before Drobniak has to go sit down. Powell comes back with the hook, but Drobniak is all over it. Doesn't leave the ground, but he comes up with the block shot.
Lewis for three. No, Radmanovich climbs in and snares out a rebound. Second chance, Battier deflection. Loose ball on the floor. Mason numbers. Lewis.
Good hustle by both players, and Gary Payton comes up with another assist.
21 points for Lewis. And for Payton, he has 9 assists, 1 away from a double-double. Goes for the steal. Giricek trying to keep it alive. He does. 5 of the shot clock. Racing into the lane, Gasol. 10 points for Pau Gasol. That was all created actually by Payton and his disruptive behavior on the defensive end, but the Grizzlies were able to come away with a bucket. Williams draping all over Payton. Great defense, and Gooden grabs it. Williams quickly into the front court. Giricek the three. No. 6th board for Lewis.
Grizzlies, now they're settling for the three-point opportunity instead of taking the ball to the basket.
Payton 13 points. 67, 60, make it 77, 65 with 6:50 remaining in the third.
Seattle so dangerous offensively. 12-point lead is nothing for them.
Giricek on the triple drive. Well, remember in the first half, the Memphis Grizzlies led by as many as 16, and that was sliced down. Payton.
When you have three-point shooters, you can always get yourself back in the game.
Giricek to Battier. Great decision by Gordon Giricek. Because I think on Saturday night, in the games prior to that, he would have forced a shot instead of finding the open man.
And if he wouldn't have forced a shot, it would have been an offensive foul. He did a good job of stopping before he ran over the defender.
Battier in trouble now because that's his 4th.
The Grizzlies coming out with more energy here in the third quarter. Maybe Seattle's feeling that 4 and 5 nights now. Don't have the energy in the second half. And Desmond Mason diving on the floor. He and Shane going for the ball. Gary Payton. Nice assist to Richard.
Every Grizz has scored here in the third. Watson in. And replacing Battier is Batiste. And the first free throw good by Mason. And of course, Earl Watson extremely familiar with Gary Payton. And Payton extremely familiar with Watson. Mason gets both. Seattle decided to retain the services of Jerome James. They didn't have enough money to sign both. If they signed one, they'd have to lose the other because they didn't want to go over the salary cap. Luxury tax, 7 on the shot clock. And by the Grizzlies going after both James and Watson. And a foul on Gary Payton. It really put the Seattle Supersonics in the corner, and the Grizzlies ended up with the player they wanted in Earl Watson.
Nice pick and roll by the Grizzlies. They get the switch they wanted. Gary Payton was on foul, and he had to foul him.
Gooden, 9 of 10 from the floor. When you're 9 and 10, you can do that. 10 of 12 now.
And even Drew had the smile running down for it. That one. It's your night, buddy.
23 points for Drew Gooden. Lewis. Gooden got a piece of it. Gasol blocks it. Watson leading the break. Oh, you know you're feeling good from out there. And last touch by Seattle. And the little man in the front row comes away with a rebound.
He's ready, has on his shorts.
That's a nice board.
Drew gets the first one blocked. Oh, from underneath the rim. What an acrobatic shot.
Jerome James, by the way. Nice. Pow! Throws it down.
The execution on the offensive end. Nice screen set by Powell. That freed him up because the defender had the help. He rolled to the basket, got a dunk.
Pau Gasol with 12 points on 5 of 8 shooting. And how about this basket? Watson, Giricek, Gasol cutting right to the iron. That is sweet. And the Grizzlies right now firing on all cylinders. 4:45 at 18 with 4:45 remaining here in the third quarter. And what a night for Drew Gooden, tying his career best, 23 points. He did that number against Sacramento on November 8th.
And we look at the shots by Drew and
getting them from all over.
Ladies, this is your four-man here, all from the perimeter. A couple of misses in the lane, but just having an outstanding night.
You can get away with that against a team like Seattle. From the outside, Desmond Mason drills it. It's a 3. Watson along with Gasol, Giricek, Gooden, and Batiste. Lewis, Mason, Payton, Radovanovic, and Kenny Anderson. Both teams playing with the small lineup. Here's Gooden trying to back down on Mason. And a traveling violation on Gooden. He turns it over, and Calvin Booth will check back in, but Dick Pavetta says, wait a minute.
Seattle guards do a great job of when the ball goes into the post, they sag into the lane of the offensive player and either make them pass it out or the move becomes very difficult.
Here's Kenny Anderson. Radovanovic trying to get positioning. He trips over. Mason, 6 on the shot clock. Batiste on him. Here's Radovanovic. Gasol closing. Not in time. Radovanovic with a dozen. 5 of 7 shooting.
And that's a good indication of how dangerous Seattle can be. 2 possessions, the lead goes from 18 to 12, just like that.
Watson looks on the inside. Here's Gasol, 5 of 8 shooting. Extra pass, Gooden loses the handle. And last touch by Seattle, so Memphis will retain possession of the basketball. And there's Calvin Booth.
Good pass by Pau Gasol. Powell's becoming a very effective passer.
Turnover. Payton spins into the front court. Watson sneaks up from behind. Batiste ends up with it. And you know Payton must be fuming. Watson! But wait a minute. I'm the teacher, you're the student. Saying a few words right now to him.
Oh, you know he is. And you could just look at his face when he turned that basketball over, that he wanted it back. He was going to go after Watson.
Anderson. Here's Radovanovic. Now 5 of 8. Gasol with a rebound. Payton swiped at it. Watson pushing. Has Batiste. And Radovanovic closed in a hurry. Grizzlies shooting 59%. Already with 87 points. This is a team on the year that averages is 92.9 and 1 on Saturday night with 85. Watson. You see what they've done this quarter. Gooden has it taken away. Anderson. Calvin Booth. Misses close range. And a foul. So Calvin Booth commits a foul after missing the layup. And Gooden will leave and Swift in. And checking in is Wesley Person. Gasol out. Great job by Gooden and Gasol. A dozen rebounds between the duo.
And now Stromile and Lorenzen have to come in and Wesley and not lose anything. Play with the same intensity that the other players have been playing with.
Turnover. Miscommunication. Batiste and Swift. 2:24 remaining in the third. Grizzlies have turned it over 9 times. Seattle, a team that on the season averaging 12.5 turnovers, as I mentioned last night in overtime. They turned it over a total of 7 times.
When you have good guards and people that can handle the basketball and get shots, which Seattle does, you're not going to turn it over a lot.
Batiste. They've turned it over 11 times, leading to 18 points for Memphis. Grizzlies are getting to the board. They've cut that category to 1, 25-24 in favor of Seattle. Lorenzen left wide open, and he knocks it down from 15 feet away.
And on that possession again, we see the big men setting solid screens on the baseline. The help has to come and freeing them up for open jumpers or drive to the basket.
Mason to the cutting Payton. Misses it as Lorenzen Wright was there. And last touch by the Memphis Grizzlies. Seattle with possession. And Hubie Brown talking with Dick Bavetta, and the big laugh out of the two of them. They've seen some basketball, huh?
Oh, they sure have it. And Dick
they go back. Mason for three. Rips the cords. As you mentioned, Seattle, a team that just won't go away because they have that ability to knock down outside shots. 6 of 11 from three-point range. And getting after it on the defensive end. How about that? Desmond Mason to Radmanovich. Desire and hustle.
What an outstanding play out of Desmond Mason. Just diving head first for the basketball to come up with it.
16 points and 7 rebounds. And unbelievable determination. Swift makes the jumper. So everybody's turned into a jump shooter on this night. And Scott Wall comes over from direction by Dick Bavetta to change the clock around. 43.5 of a second remaining.
Seattle so versatile. Now Brent Berry has the opportunity to run the point guard position.
And a foul on Calvin Booth. I really think that Seattle's a team with so many different options. If they finally get some bulk on the inside, they could do some damage.
Oh, head first. Just dives in there. How long can you keep Desmond Mason on the bench? He's a player that could be starting a number of teams in this league.
Well, he's been in the lineup, been out of the lineup, but the main reason why he's back on the bench and coming off of the bench is because Nate McMillan wants his energy coming off of the bench. That second wave, which is so important, as you well know. And a foul against the Grizzlies. Here's Swift in the high post. Watson in the corner. Person the three. Wesley Person with the big three, and Person has made 3 threes tonight on 3 of 6 from beyond the arc.
And great vision by Earl Watson to drive the baseline. The defense collapsed. Wesley Person stayed wide open in the corner.
Grizzlies by 14. Last shot of the third. Mason, Berry for 3. Doesn't fall. As it's pinned in the corner between the backboard and the iron. And the Memphis Grizzlies lead heading into the fourth quarter, 94-80. Gooden, 23 points. Jason Williams with 17 points. Gasol, 12. Battier, 8. Giracek, 8.
All right, man.
Tying a career best 23.6 rebounds, 3 assists on 10 of 13 shooting, 2 of 2 from the free throw line. And Gooden certainly the story of the night as he came out smoking hot in the first quarter. Made 4 of 4, Hersey, and it just continued. And you know you have a bundle of confidence when you step outside and start thinking about making threes. We're here at the Pyramid. It's the Sonics and the Grizzlies. And Memphis leads 94-80 as we enter the fourth quarter. It's Matt Devlin alongside Hersey Hawkins and Michael Eaves. And Gooden, in 23 minutes of action, has been superb tonight.
It has been Drew night. But in the fourth quarter, it has to be the defense that's going to step up and win this basketball game for the Grizzlies. Seattle, they will make a run at you.
They certainly will, and Mike Batiste just earned a foul as Lewis was trying to speed past him. Watson, Swift, Lorenzen, Person off of the bench with a dozen. And Batiste, Radovatovich, Booth, Anderson, Lewis, and Barry will trigger the basketball in.
And fatigue should not be a factor tonight. Hubie Brown has done an excellent job at distributing the minutes. No starter has played more than 26 minutes. The bench has played lots of minutes tonight, so fatigue shouldn't be a factor.
Booth misfires. Well, will it be a factor with Seattle? The Grizzlies in the third quarter shot 65%.
And Nate McMillan cannot be happy with the Sonics defensive.
Batiste spills out. And Swift grabs it back, and look at Nate McMillan hopping along the sideline in disgust and an offensive. And Swift in disbelief as he looks back at Scott Wall.
Strohmeyer comes up with a good defensive steal, swipes it away out of Calvin Booth's hand, but then commits the offensive foul. He has to realize you have Brent Barry on you. Take your time. Brent can't block your shot.
Here's Barry. Finds Lewis. Lewis with 21. Rims out. Batiste hands it off to Watson. Watson running. Look for his shot. It was cut off. Batiste from the outside. Driving. Has it picked clean by Anderson. Anderson, no. And Batiste is there once again. Anderson didn't use the right hand. He is left-handed, and a turnover. Inability to use the right hand there cost Kenny Anderson.
It sure did. If he goes to the right hand, gets an easy layup. Earl Watson tries to throw the lead pass to Lorenzen a little too far. Lorenzen can't get to it.
Third consecutive turnover by the Grizzlies. You see the turnovers tonight. Anderson in the lane. And it rims in as Lonnie gets run over by Kenny Anderson, and we'll get a sign from Lonnie as to whether or not he is all right. Lonnie, big man, my man over there working camera. Swift. And Swift loses it out of control. Lonnie, you okay? Gives me the thumbs up. That's my man right there, Lonnie.
Lon's a troop. It's going to take more than Kenny Anderson to get him out of the game.
Yeah, you know, night before Thanksgiving, he wanted that FaceTime. Here's Battier. 7 on the shot clock. Watson up fake. Got picked to leave his feet. Can't make the jumper, and Mason is there. 12-point game.
Earl Watson has shown he's not intimidated by Gary Payton. He's gone right at him.
It's like Cool Hand Luke. Earl Watson. Great character that Paul Newman played in the movie.
I've never seen that movie.
Oh, don't even start with me. Watson into the front court. It's a classic. I don't even want to go there. We don't have enough time. There's only 9:39 remaining in the game. And Person off of the curl. Rent it.
I have it. That's the bad thing about it. I have it at home, but I've never watched it.
96-82. Lewis has it knocked out of bounds by Battier. How about Shane Battier with a quick fingertips?
Shane showing his good hands, comes away with the swipe while sitting on his butt. He's falling down. Good defense on the post. Tries to take the charge. Sees not going to get the call and swipes it away at the end.
Gasol Williams back in. Here's Mason rising over Person, and Mason has had a great game coming off of the bench. 18 points. Mason on the season averaging 15 along with 6.9 rebounds in 32 minutes of action.
And you can see the confidence that Mason plays with. He's looking to go out there and make an impact in the game.
Gasol trying to make an impact with the jumper, doesn't go. And the rebound comes to Seattle. Still a 12-point game. Payton has plenty of time, and he knows it. 8:45, he operates baseline, too strong. Battier there on the weak side, and Payton now 6 of 15, 13 points, 11 assists. Of course, another double-double. He averages that. Averages better than 21 points and leads the NBA in assists at 10.3.
Seattle look like they're in a little matchup zone.
Williams from deep three doesn't go. And the Grizzlies were unable to get inside that zone and do some damage.
I think it took a little while for the Grizzlies to recognize that Seattle was in the zone. They thought they were in man-to-man. By that time, Jason had to throw up a deep three.
Dean Demopoulos. Payton cutting. Leaves it for Lewis. And knocked out of bounds by Battier. Dean Demopoulos, who's an assistant under Nate McMillan's been 17 years under Coach John Chaney, the legendary Hall of Fame coach of Temple University. So he knows something about zones. Wesley Person drills at 14 large. It's into the fourth quarter and the Grizzlies lead 96-84. Thursday, start your Thanksgiving Day with an NFL tradition, beginning with America's #1 pregame show. As JB, Terry, Howie, and Jimmy get you ready for kickoff. Then it's Fox NFL specialist LeVar Arrington and the Redskins take on Emmitt Smith and the Cowboys in a showdown between NFC East rivals. Coverage begins Thanksgiving Day at 3:30 Eastern and 12:30 Pacific on Fox. Grizzlies basketball, and you see Wesley Person doing it again off of the bench. He's scored in double figures for the last 6 games. That ties a season high. He's turned that trick now 4 times, 14 points, including last Saturday night in the win against Washington. Gooden has it deflected by Calvin Booth, and Payton is racing ahead, and Williams ties him up. And a good job by Jason Williams, as Williams earns his first 17 points on 6 of 11 shooting for Jason Williams.
It was an excellent foul by Jason Williams. Gary Payton was just about to make that spin move right to the middle, and Jason committed the foul.
After a hot first 3 quarters, both teams struggling a little bit. Radmanovic. Struggles continue for Seattle. Stripped away. Booth chucks it in. 10-point game. The pace is slowed dramatically. The legs may be getting heavy for Seattle.
If this is more of the Grizzlies' pace, if the pace can stay like this, the Grizzlies can come away with this win. But if it starts to go up and down again, where Seattle can launch up some threes, that would be danger.
Williams made it. Jason was looking for Person, but they just didn't have it out on the wing, and so he just decided to take it. He's 7 of 12, 19 points.
And Jason's the one player on the Grizzlies, with the exception maybe Wesley Person, that if you want a shot in a crucial situation, put it in their hands.
How about Desmond Mason? Mason has 20. His season best is 23. He's done that on a couple of occasions.
Desmond Mason in the second half keeping the Sonics in the basketball game. Not only with his offense, with his scoring, but also defensively playing well.
Jason Williams with 21 points, a new season best. 19 on 2 prior occasions against San Antonio and at Portland. Had a double-double at Portland, 19 and 11. And a whistle. And a foul on Wesley Person. The Grizzlies lead by a dozen, 100-88. 6:08 remaining in the fourth.
And Seattle continues to give up the outside shot. That's been their game plan the entire game. If the Grizzlies make the shots, Seattle's in trouble.
Gooden with the 7th rebound. The Grizzlies now pull even to Seattle in rebounds as Gasol and Mason and get tangled up. And a foul on Desmond Mason. So Mason earns the foul. That's his first to go along with 20 points and 9 rebounds. Gasol, 12 points and 6 rebounds. The Grizzlies lead by a dozen. 5:53 remaining in the fourth quarter as the Grizzlies, coming off of a win on Saturday night, their first win, have Pau Gasol with a dozen points. Drew Gooden leading the way, 23. Jason Williams, a season best, 21. And the starting unit has been superb. On the defensive end, of course, Shane Battier. Off of the bench, Wesley Person with 14 points. Watson with 6. Wright and Swift each with 4. Grizzlies have shot 58%. 10 of 21 from 3. It's a 2. Jason Williams with 23, matching the effort of Gooden. Jason Williams having a superb shooting night and also playing sticky D. Payton 6 of 15 has 13 points after 32 season high. Last night they'll try to post him up, and Jay Will ties him up around the belt loops.
What you like about Jason Williams, the defense on Gary Payton on the post is he's battling Gary. He's not just letting him get deep in the paint, get good position. He's going after the ball, so he's making Gary think on the box.
Brent Berry back in. He can drill threes. Radmanovich can shoot. Everybody on the floor right now can shoot a three. Berry in the lane. And it pops out. And a foul on Gordon Giricek.
If Brent Berry doesn't go to the basket often, that's something that he should implement in his game a little more. Deadly three-point shooter, so you have to guard him from out there. And he's long enough where he can get to the basket, to the rim. Good free throw shooter. Can add that to his arsenal.
Berry now with 3 points. Last night, Berry 15. On Sunday night, just 5, but he had that deadly three-pointer that won it against San Antonio, 91-90. Jay Will has 6 straight for the Grizzlies. 10 of the shot clock. Battier in the corner. Giricek goes baseline. Desmond closes for 3. 9 straight. 26 for Jason Williams.
And nice patience by the Grizzlies on the zone. Swinging the ball from side to side. Giricek penetrates, finds Jason for the 3.
Mason. And Mason one shy of tying a season high. He has 22. Williams sprinting into the front court. Here's Battier.
Mason won't let the Sonics quit.
Hubie Brown yelling out, take your time, take your time. Here's Gooden, 10 of the shot clock. Hook! Drops out. Battier through his fingertips, and Payton speeds ahead. Crossover in the lane. Williams got a piece of it. Lewis, Giricek on him. Berry quickly. Up fake, Mason. Doesn't go. Radmanovich. Tapped by Battier, and there's Giricek. Battier once again hustling.
Hubie, he wants the Grizzlies to push it up off the rebound, but if they don't have a fast break opportunity, then set up the offense and run your plays.
Battier, great move along the end line. Gave the up fake, ducked in, and laid it up and through. Memphis up 107-92. How good are they looking tonight, Hawk?
Real good. Surprising Seattle.
Sharp on the offensive end. And their defense has cranked it up here in the fourth quarter. Battier. Grizzlies lead 107-94. As Payton takes it to the hole, he has 15 to go along with a dozen assists on 7 of 16 shooting. Williams drifts into the front court.
And that was the first time since the first half where the Grizzlies didn't do a good job on guarding Gary Payton in the pick and roll.
Battier, Giricek cutting, Powell up top, 5 of the shot clock. Williams, too strong, and Berry will claim the rebound. Payton spins over Gasol. Gooden with his 8th rebound.
Grizzlies, only players in the paint for the defensive rebound. Seattle stand on the perimeter looking for the three-pointer, trying to get themselves back in the game.
The Grizzlies now lead in that category by 1. Jason Williams just flat out feeling it. 28 on 11 of 17 shooting.
And Seattle still not making Jason drive to the hole. He's making a jumper.
And Payton drives to the hole instead. He has 17, picking up some points late. The Grizzlies with 109 points. That's a new season high. A little pressure. Powell better hurry. 8 seconds. 8-second call by Violet Palmer. The previous season high was in the opener in a loss against Dallas. 8 seconds to get it across the midcourt stripe. Grizzlies leading 109-96. 2:03 to go. Lewis chucks the three, makes it. They're just dangerous. 24 points.
Yeah, a couple of nights ago, San Antonio thought it was over, and all of a sudden the barrage of threes, and Seattle stole a game. Trying to do the same thing tonight.
Battier trying to take Radmanovic. Radmanovic commits the foul. Radmanovic earns his third. Make it his second. It's the first in the last 2 minutes. 10-point advantage. That can evaporate in a hurry against a team like Seattle as Hubie Brown orchestrates the inbounds play.
And what the Grizzlies have to do the last 2 minutes of this game is keep the ball in the hand of Jason Williams. He's having a good game. He's controlling the tempo. He's making shots, and if the shot clock runs down, let him create for himself or for someone else.
Here's Williams. Crossover. He'll use the clock. Pau Gasol ducked in. He's got a mismatch on Brent Berry if he wants it. He finds Giracek. Giracek hesitated. Giracek turns it over. Radmanovic, it's a two. No, Battier, a fierce rebounder.
Radmanovic taking an ill-advised shot. They had the 3-on-2 break. He could have taken it to the hole or passed to the wing. Pulled up for the jumper, and it wasn't even a three.
So the mistake by Giracek doesn't hurt. Williams, dribble penetration, finds Gasol. Big bucket by Pau, 14 points.
And Grizzlies lead. And that's exactly what Jason did on the previous possession. He got Giracek a shot in the corner, but he didn't take it.
Here's Giracek with the board. The Grizzlies looking for their second consecutive win after losing 13 straight to begin the season. We want to remind you about the great Grizzlies giveaway throughout the season, brought to you by First Tennessee. 6 unique collectibles and 6 different home games. The next giveaway is this Sunday, December 1, against the Toronto Raptors, when the first 3,000 kids under the age of 14 will receive a Grizzlies lunchbox. To order your tickets, call 888-HOOP or toll free at 1-866-648-HOOP. And that's December 1st against the Toronto Raptors. Vince Carter in town. A lunchbox. And Giracek taking and making the first Grizzlies free throws of the second half, Hawk, with under a minute remaining, 113-99.
When you're shooting all jumpers and not getting to the line much, and Jason comes up with another steal.
Gooden has it swiped away instead of pulling it back out. Battier deflects it out of bounds. Hubie Brown trying to get the attention of Drew Gooden.
Yeah, and you can see Jason Williams telling Drew to think. They didn't need a shot. All they need to do is run some time off the clock.
Because Mason and Seattle can put up a barrage of threes in a hurry. Now Giracek, he'll get tangled up, and Lewis, that's his first of the night. The advance on the parts play of the game is this right here.
Yeah, the circus shot by Drew Gooden behind the backboard. I don't know how he made that shot.
He's long, he's athletic.
Okay, I guess that's why I could never make one of those. I'm not long or athletic.
Athletic enough.
Yeah,
13 years in the NBA.
Yeah, well, I can shoot.
You can. As Hubie Brown has said on numerous occasions about Wesley Person, to hang around as long as Wesley Person has, you have to be a specialist. And he is. And you certainly were as well.
You're right. And what's actually surprising me about Wesley also is his rebounding.
Yeah. Person tonight does not have a rebound, but 14 points, but averaging better than 3 a game. The Memphis Grizzlies lead 115-99. It's been an impressive night for the Grizzlies, looking for their second consecutive win of the season. With the Lakers coming into town on Friday. Of course, Los Angeles lost last night to Miami, and Toronto in town on Sunday before the Grizzlies head west. And Jason Williams has been spectacular tonight on 11 of 17 shooting 28 points and great defense.
It sure has been. And Nate McMillan, talking to him before the game, was concerned about the Grizzlies haven't played since the 23rd. Knew they would come out with a lot of energy, and it's held true. They've come out with more energy than Seattle.
Gasol, his 7th rebound. Gooden, a big night. 23 points. It ties a career best. 8 rebounds on 10 of 14 shooting. Battier racks it up. Battier with a dozen points.
I was glad to see Shane make that shot.
Mason misses as his shot grazes the rim. Memphis shooting 59.3% from the floor. 11 of 23 from three-point range. It started with Gooden. It was all Drew, in fact, in the first half, 18 of his 23. Jason Williams put on a show in the second half as Jason Williams finished with 28 points and 6 assists. And the Grizzlies have won 2 in a row.
And that was the offense that did